What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Twisted Life of TV. I am Poetry. You are here for another recap and review of Love and Marriage Detroit. This is season 1, episode 3. I don't know the name of it, child. I don't know the name at all. I'm going to try to hop right on into this, but I know I'm finna start cussing, and YouTube don't let me cuss until it's been 1 minute into my video. So we're going to try to pick up right where we left off. We're at the wine bar, and Anthony and Chelsea are getting into it. Apparently, I'm only reviewer out here that think that there was something edited out of this scene right here to send Anthony to the point that he went to. However, I did say I thought he was being disrespectful by calling her a little girl. Okay, but there was a whole lot of shit that was left out. Trust and believe me. I was sitting here saying that this is the point that Latoya should have spoke up and said something. This is your event. She didn't try to quench the fires. Nothing. She just sat there putting her head down, shaking her head, this, that, and the third. Okay. Now, there's some, what I like about Kristina that she has done twice now. When these people are coming at her friends, Kristina attempts to check them. Like when they were coming at Kolby, Kristina tried to check them at the anniversary dinner. When they tried to come at Chelsea right now, she's trying to check Anthony. Anthony trying to tell her she need to be a boss. She don't need to handle little birds like this around her, this, that, and the third. And Kristina's like, no, you're not going to talk about my friend like that. That's not what we're finna do. That's not what we're finna do. But the problem is, like, we quickly escaped from that scenario because Brandon decided to chime in. Well, first Bravo did. Bravo chimed in, tried to back Anthony up. Like, these men don't know how to speak for themselves, and say that he's only concerned about Brandon and Kristina's relationship because how long they have been friends. What I said last episode. That's all Anthony needs to say at this point. He said that and a little bit more, but like I say, I think there's a whole lot of editing that was left out. So Bravo just reiterated that. But then Brandon, this is where I was finna start cussing. Brandon, this motherfucker, had the unmitigated gall to tell his wife that she is not an important person. That she was not important. That she makes him feel like he's being held back in his career. And the men here are just supporting his bullshit, okay? And Kristina is saying that ain't true. But y'all go ahead and believe what y'all want to believe, because y'all gonna believe him. And Bravo like, we ain't just riding no bandwagon, we riding with our boy. And of course y'all riding with y'all boy, because that's what he's telling you. So that right there tells me that Brandon is not over the bullshit. That whatever things that Brandon was feeling that made him want to step outside of his marriage, that made him want to have one foot out the door, he's still feeling, because he's still expressing this shit to his boys. He ain't expressing it to his wife unless he in front of his boys and got his boys back up. Little spineless ass bitch. I don't like Brandon ass. Oh, I don't like Brandon. Okay. He say she holding him back from pursuing his dreams because of her insecurity. Okay. Even Anthony was like, nah, bro, that you need to chill on that. Don't even go there. Don't even try to say that, because we know that ain't true, right? He says the 3 men that are at that table, him, Bravo, and Anthony, those 2 are full speed ahead while he's slowly jogging behind. Now, you've been in this business forever, and you slowly jogging behind because of Kristina? You had this business before Kristina even came along. So how is she holding you back? And Kristina's like, no, whatever problems that you're having from growing in your business have nothing to do with me. That's on you. I'm so glad Kristina speaks up for herself. She's not heard. He ain't listening. He don't care. He don't value her opinion. He don't want to hear her voice. I don't even think Brandon like his wife. Kristina, he don't like you, girl. He don't like you. Why he's still there is because he don't want to be the one to seem like he's the asshole. If he walk away, then he's going to be the asshole, okay? As long as you say it's okay for him to go, he'll go freely. But as long as you keep holding on, Anthony ain't gonna go nowhere because he don't want to look like the bad guy. He don't want to look like the asshole. Because what he tell you, it's all about your image. That's all you worried about, how this is making you look. And I'm thinking, why ain't you worried about how this is making you look? Because that's a reflection of your damn marriage. This whole argument right here that y'all having in this event, y'all forget y'all out in a public space in front of people y'all don't even fucking know. Emotions are rearing so high, and you are dog walking the shit out of your wife with your boy's support. Like I say, at least Chelsea did try to step in on the side of her friend, like, hold up. Even Anthony switched his tone a little bit, like, dog, nah, that ain't what we finna do. That we ain't finna say that. Kristina was like, fine. You know, whatever. If you want it to be me, it's me. She went to her Chrisette Michelle. Blame it on me. Say it's my fault. Say I'm a liar, I'm a cheater. Say anything that you want. It's really not fair. You know, that's what she was saying. And Anthony was like, no, Kristina, that's not, sis, we not gonna do that. Don't take that blame on you. Now, Anthony's confusing. I told y'all, he gets on my nerves. But Anthony's kind of two-faced because he's sitting in Kristina's face telling me, no, dog, no, don't say that about yourself. I got you. I support you. I love you. I'm here for you. And then pull Anthony to the side like, I know, dog. I know. We got you. I understand. We support you. We got your back. Yeah, which one is it, Anthony? Do you trust and believe in what Kristina is saying, or do you trust and believe in what Anthony's saying? You got to pick a side. You got to have a real fucking opinion, okay? If you're gonna choose to be in their business, you need to have a real opinion. You can't straddle the fucking fence. Who right or wrong? Somebody is damn sure wrong in this situation, and in my opinion, it's Brandon. Regardless if he don't feel supported by his wife, the fact that the way he talks to her, the way he manipulates her, the way he flips the script on her is damn sure wrong. Okay. Anywho, Anthony, like I said, he up here saying, no, sis, don't even say that. Like I said, he's a shit starter. But when his boy hit him wrong, he tried to say something, but, you know, he flipped back over to his boy. Like, anyway, Kristina is that chick that tries to rap for her friends. She tried to rap for Kolby. She tried to rap for Chelsea. But I don't see Latoya doing it. Latoya will let her husband pop off at her friends and not say shit to him. Not even once the cameras, or I ain't gonna say once the cameras stop rolling, because we don't know what happened when the cameras stop rolling. Not even once they get by themselves. She never addresses the way that Anthony speaks to these ladies. Never. They didn't even bring back up the way he was speaking to Chelsea. They didn't even talk about that again. Kolby, you know, she tried to say something. She tried to stand by Kristina's side for a minute, and then she got hella backlash, especially from Brandon, because now she hating, right? Anywho, Kristina's like, I'm not holding you back. It ain't got nothing to do with me. Your career ain't advanced because of you. And I'm like, Brandon, if you was just honest with your woman, at least once, if you had some type of accountability for the things that you have done wrong in your marriage, the things that you have still not corrected, the things that you say that you have learned, you still have not applied what you have learned in your marriage. You went through counseling, you still have not applied any of the techniques in your marriage, because you still blame. You're still trying to be manipulative and make Kristina think that everything is her fucking fault. If you would just be honest, maybe she wouldn't question your moves. Maybe she wouldn't. Okay, but you lie constantly. Kristina, I don't know how you do it, girl. I don't know how you do it. This man has no respect for you as his wife. None. And I wonder why you still here. Because you know it. It's not like you oblivious to how this man feels about you. He tells you to your face, you make him fucking miserable. Being in this marriage to you is miserable. I don't like it. I don't want it. I don't need it. And you say, but baby, I love you. The Lord say for us to be together. With God on our side, we can get through anything. I told you, Kristina, is that I told y'all that story before about the when God, it was a big old flood and the water started rising and a man came by in a car and said, let's go, let's go, let's go. And Kristina said, no, I'm gonna wait on the Lord. I'm gonna wait on the Lord. Then the water rose up some more, and then a guy came by on the boat by the window like, hey, let's go, let's go, let's go. And Kristina said, no, I'm gonna wait on the Lord. The rising waters is her marriage. The flood waters is her marriage. And she getting all these signs and symbols sent in from God, trying to rescue from his marriage. And she steady saying, no, I'm gonna sit here and wait on God. I'm gonna sit here and wait on God. Then the water rose up to the roof, and a man came down with a helicopter and ladder and gave her a ladder. Come on to safety. And Kristina still said, no, I'm gonna wait on God, I'm gonna wait on God. And then she died. This marriage is killing her. It's suffocating her. She died and she get up to heaven and she said, God, what happened? Why me? He said, well, damn, I sent you a car, I sent you a boat and a helicopter. Your ass chose to stay in that situation. You chose to, and that's what you're doing, Kristina. You're choosing. I know I changed that whole little story around to fit Kristina, but I hope she listened to me. Girl, because she's still with him right now. She's still with him right now. And I seen the post that Brandon had made. It was like, I think it was an interview or something like that he said. I want to say he said it to the Jasmine brand or it was to Variety. One of the two. He was saying something along the fact that being on this show helped him realize the error in his ways of his marriage and has made them stronger together. Lies you tell and the pot you piss in. Lies you fucking tell. He said he was miserable with you. And ain't nothing changed, girl. Ain't nothing changed other than having kids. That's the only thing that changed. Next, you're going to tell us he's an awesome father. That's what a lot of people do. You are in an abusive situation. You are in an emotionally abusive relationship, girl. And a lot of women who are in abusive relationships always fall back on, he's an excellent father. But what is he as a husband? What is he as a husband, girl? Okay? Telling you that you nothing. Telling you in front of your friends that you nothing. Telling his friends behind your back that you ain't shit, that you don't support him, and he's miserable being with you. He's told his friends this time and time again. But you don't want to hear him. You are choosing to block that shit out. Fuck that. And now you hear it crying again. Tears flying, snot flying, crying one more time. Pleading to him for him to recognize your doggone worth. Pleading to him to recognize the sacrifices that you made to this marriage. What about your business? What about your career? You've been, gave up your career and everything to make sure you raise the kids and keep him happy while he out tipping out on your ass. Ooh. And the knucklehead Brandon, well, he a knucklehead, but Anthony and Bravo, don't Bravo look like Chance the Rapper? Anywho, they probably killed Chance the Rapper. Detroit and Chicago ain't that far from each other. Anywho, these some feeble-minded fucks. If y'all don't know what feeble-minded mean, look it the fuck up. You understand why each of these men are some feeble-minded fuckers. They not even worthy of the title man or husband, in my fucking opinion. They still little boy playing little boy games and shit. The key one being manipulate. Okay, my hair I'm looking at my hair on camera just grow. Like I said, I got caught in the rain. I had my hair in braids and plaits, and I took them down because Anyway, like I said, she put her designing on the back burner while raising the girls and stuff like that. She got dreams too. See, this is why I told you she the new Monique in that aspect. I told you she was the new Monique in that aspect. And like I said, Anthony up here playing both sides. Telling Kristina, we got you, we support you, you know what I'm saying? But then telling Brandon, you're right. We understand, we got you. You're a spineless little bitch, Anthony. Spineless little bitch. Don't get me a little started on Latoya too. She a spineless bitch too. Hell, I forgot that they had other guests there. Okay, because and all the other guests sitting there like, what the fuck? And Kristina like, the party over. Ain't nobody buying shit, y'all. Ain't nobody buying a damn thing. Kristina had made a comment while they was in the back and they arguing. Anthony was trying to get Brandon out of the doggone establishment, and she made a comment, it's other men out there that want me too, right? Brandon say, so what you want me to say to that? What you want me to do? That was his way of please saying, just say the word. Get the fuck out. It's over. Leave. That's what he want her to say so he can be gone. Okay? He need her to be the reason that the marriage is over. In the confessional, he talking about those fighting words. Fighting for who? Who you fighting for? Because you surely ain't fighting for your wife. You surely ain't fighting for your wife. You talking about fighting, Kristina? Which one? What? How was those fighting words, sir? Ooh, talking about, because what if I came back? What if you came back and did what? What if you came back and did what? I got women out in these streets too. We know you ain't let them motherfuckers go. Kristina the only one trying to be oblivious to the shit. You telling her she oblivious to the shackles that she got on you. She oblivious to the fact that you still out here ripping and running in these streets hoeing, regardless of how many shackles she try to put on you. Okay. Ooh, because you ain't let go of them. Trust me, I already know it. Kristina, girl, it's a year later. Divorce. Okay. It's a year later, girl. Why are you still there? Don't mistake the devil using you as the Lord's work. Okay? No matter what, this nigga gaslights the fuck out of you, then turns the tables and try to make it your fault. And you see it. If he thought being up in the club is the only tool to his success, he was already a failure before he started, okay? He keeps saying to you, what am I coming home for? You ain't nurturing, you ain't loving, you ain't supporting, what am I being there for? The nigga let the door hit you where the good Lord split you. That's what you should be doing. Why are you coming back? Like I said, he don't want to be seen as the bad guy. He asked her the question though, why you want to be married to me? Why? She didn't answer. If she did, they edited that part out. But why you want to be married? Why you want to be married? Is it that you just want to be married? You just like the title of being married just to say that you're married? Then he say something like, 99% of the time that he don't want to be home. 99% of the time. Then why are you asking her why she's staying? Why not ask yourself that if 99% of the time you don't want to be there, 99% of the time she get on your damn nerves, 99% of the time you'd rather be somewhere else than home. Fuck the kids. He ain't even put any type of consideration into the kids. None. We go back to Latoya and Anthony. Latoya, I don't know about her. I called her a bitch earlier, didn't I? I probably didn't mean to call her a bitch. I called her a spineless bitch. Okay, I'm going to take that part back. She's spineless, though. When it comes to, put it like this. She said she felt disrespected by Kristina and Brandon. And then she's going to have to apologize to the venue owner for the big blow up. But they need to stay out of their business. It's not their business anyway. They shouldn't have brought, Kristina and Brandon shouldn't have brought their business to her event. Just the other day, you said you want to know what the whole tea was in regards to their relationship. And if you didn't want them to bring that shit to the damn venue, then you should have stopped it. You were the fucking host. You should have said, if y'all gonna have this conversation, y'all need to leave the building. But you stopped Kristina from walking out. She was getting up. She had put her clothes together, put her shoes back on her feet, and she was about to hit the door because she was tired of the bullshit. She was tired of listening to these men gang up on her. And her husband allowing them to gang up on her because of all the shit that he done fed to them. Okay, she was about to leave and you made her stay. Latoya, that's your fault that the event blew up like it did. Because she was trying to leave. She was trying to exit left. And you weren't concerned with her mental state. That wasn't what you was worried about. You was just embarrassed that it happened at your event. First, the anniversary party, and now here too. They owe me an apology. You ain't even embarrassed about the fact that your husband was popping off at Chelsea. Your husband was popping. That was probably the first thing you should have been embarrassed about. Before it even got to Brandon and Kristina. The way your fucking husband was acting. That's what you should have been embarrassed about. Somehow they outside talk, because they outside in the car talking or whatever, and somehow it got brought up how Anthony supports her, and Brandon needs to just be supportive of Kristina like he support her, and somehow the idea of money for her business for funding opulence came up, and she was like, you didn't fund my business. He was like, I did. And she's like, no, it wasn't all your money, it was our money. And he was like, well, without my money, I made a big ass check, then it wouldn't have happened, right? I don't recall him saying he funded everything. I thought he said that he supported her financially in the business. That's what I thought he said. And like I said, she ran down a whole list of stuff that he's supposed to have done, or he still currently does for the business. And then I told y'all in the casting video what he did for the business to get it off the ground. And her thing is like, you didn't put in all the money. He put in a lot of effort for this fucking business. He supported you in your business, girl. Don't try to belittle that. Don't try to belittle that. Anyway, child, it must be a fucking thing that Detroit men just be flat out liars. Kolby had invited her parents over to discuss the Russell going to divinity school thing, because remember, he talked to her daddy, and her daddy said he was going to mentor him through this whole situation, right? And when Kolby brought it up to daddy, the daddy tried to act shocked, like, he gone to divinity school? And she was like, daddy, he told me he told you. He's like, oh, okay, I didn't know he was coming to me in confidence or something. So you finna sit here and flat out lie to your goddamn daughter. The same thing he basically did by omitting it to her. That was a lie. Omission is a lie. Okay. So lying to Kolby must be the first thing that he mentoring Russell to do. God, a fucking bitch made man of the cloth. That's what he is too. And then her damn mama even brainwashed on the bullshit too. Okay. I noticed this in a lot of religious families, when the father is like deeply embedded in, he's a deacon, a pastor, bishop, or whatever it is. They let the wife be the mouthpiece for them, even when the wife don't even believe it themselves. Okay. But basically his mama was like, if God tells him to do something, he's supposed to just do it. Discussing it with you ain't an option. You're not a priority when it comes to the Lord. If Kolby had not asked him what secrets he had been keeping, he wouldn't have said anything. He was already 2 weeks in the school. We 4 weeks in now, right? I ain't ever seen it in the Bible. Y'all let me know if I'm wrong. That says a man just ignores his wife for the Lord. Matter of fact, most of the stories that I remember or recall from the Bible, the men not only informed their wives of what was going on, they even argued with God or whether or not what he was asking them to do was right for them to do. Why me? Why choose me? Go find some fucking body else. That's how most of the stories that I remember. Moses, when God told him to lead the slaves out of Israel, Moses didn't want to do that. Abraham, Job, even Adam. Because remember when God came back, he didn't see Adam. He's like, what the fuck y'all doing? Well, Adam had, was hiding in the woods because he was naked. God told him not to eat from the forbidden tree. But what did Adam do? He consulted with his wife, and his wife told him to go ahead and do it. So I don't recall. If y'all know some stories in the Bible that says these men got a word from God or instruction from the Lord, and they didn't let their wife know what was going on. They just went out and did it, and then their wife came back and told their wives later. Let me know, because I want to know. Hell, even Jesus went out, but when he gone for 13 motherfucking years, out doing some shit that then nobody knew he was supposed to be doing, something against what he was chosen to be done. Anywho, Brandon ain't been back home, y'all, since the big blow up at the restaurant. I don't know how many days it's been, but it's been a few days. Like I said, he basically said, fuck them kids. He ain't concerned about his kids at all. He ain't calling, asking about his kids at all, because he don't want to talk to her. He said, fuck y'all. So, and he was talking to Anthony, and he basically told Anthony, fuck you too. Fuck you, fuck Bravo, and then none of y'all have my back. And I'm like, what? If anybody had your back, it was damn sure Anthony and Bravo. But he's saying fuck all of them. He said fuck all. He said, man, I mean that. He said, I mean fuck y'all too. Fuck everybody. Ain't nobody got my doggone back. And Anthony like, dude, you are tripping. Y'all are like family to me. Kristina is like my sister. You like my brother. I'm gonna try to be there and support y'all both. Then he say, y'all not gonna make me believe otherwise, y'all. Y'all not gonna make me believe otherwise. He said, Anthony said, I remember when one of your group members got pregnant and you were depressed as hell. Y'all know where I'm going with this. You ain't gonna make me believe that girl wasn't supposedly pregnant by Brandon. Because he said, then you met Kristina and she brought you out of that funk. I know you remember that, dog, okay? It sounds to me as if Brandon was involved with this artist before. She got pregnant. Maybe he is, maybe not. And it destroyed the group, which caused them to leave him as somebody he working with. It caused him such great depression. The depression could only come from through two things. Either the baby was yours and she wanted you to step up and be with her, or you realized that she wasn't just fucking with you only, and you really don't know who the baby is, and the baby wasn't yours, or you thought that this girl wanted you so bad. And I'm thinking it's the first one. She wants you to step up and be with her or take care of the baby, this, that, and other. And so you got with Kristina, started hanging with Kristina, and decided to marry Kristina 6 months after you met her, to show to this girl that you didn't want to be with her and you was happy with the woman that you was with. That's what it sounded like to me. Y'all tell me if y'all heard anything different, because that's what it heard to me. Okay, and Anthony's like, Anthony told him, nigga, you need to get your shit together. Get it together. Contact your wife before she leave your ass and go find somebody else, okay? You want somebody else out here calling your kids daddy? Want somebody out here is calling your daddy your kids? You want somebody else out here? What did I just say? You want somebody out here calling your kids daddy? That doesn't sound right. You want somebody else out here that your kids will be calling daddy? Woo! I'm waiting on it. I'm waiting on it. I'm waiting on the blogs to come out and say that they divorcing. But she ain't going nowhere. It's sad to say Kristina ain't going nowhere. But I told y'all, Anthony get on my nerves. He get on my nerves, and I hate that I be agreeing with him sometimes. Because that whole conversation he had with Brandon, I was like, I was here for real. The crazy thing is, though, during that conversation, Anthony admitted that he's in full acknowledgement of why Latoya had a problem with him staying in Atlanta. Evidently, the boys had some issue going into this predominantly white school. Some racist stuff that came up, and Latoya didn't know how to handle that situation, right? Latoya had told her family members that basically he had abandoned them. Like later on in the episode, we find out that he bought a house down in Atlanta. To her, that means he done packed up and moved. He packed up his stuff already. He done moved. And he ain't told her about that. That was the issue. He done got a whole goddamn house down in Atlanta, but he's supposed to be going back and forth to work. I mean, did he actually buy a house, or was he just renting one? Because if he's doing work like that, he's doing long-term work like that, he most likely gonna need a regular place to stay that's not an Airbnb or a hotel. But did he buy a house? She didn't know nothing about this, him staying there long time. It was supposed to be back and forth. She keeps saying this was at the height of the pandemic, and now I realize that's a lie. The height of the pandemic was in 2020. He was gone for 8 months. He wouldn't have been able to go back and forth because of the fucking travel bans. So this wasn't at the height of the pandemic. She's a fucking sports therapist or sports doctor. So people's like, yeah, she's probably out there, dealing with COVID patients, and it was such a hard time for doctors. I don't believe it. The timing ain't adding up. This filming of this show was 2022. We don't know when he came back home, but he couldn't have left at the height of the pandemic and traveled back and forth like you state, because they wasn't allowing it. They was not allowing it. Okay, anywho, But basically, because of all the situation that was going on with the kids, she felt unsupported at home. He wasn't there being the present father that she wanted him to be. And he's still talking about going back to Atlanta. And I'm like, ain't you just going to be repeating the same cycle that you had the first time? It was your absence that was the root of the issue. The absence was the root issue. Something else was going on. And Brandon had said during their conversation, because Anthony revealed all this to him, I don't know what the heck the details is, but I feel kind of better about my situation knowing he going through the same thing too. Brandon probably think that Anthony cheated too. I already told you I thought that Anthony had somebody down in Atlanta, but I just didn't think it was a girl. I'm just saying, anywho, Brandon don't need to be married at all, y'all. He told Anthony that the marriage is the hardest thing he ever had to do in life. Marriage is the hardest thing you ever had to do in life. Marriage. Look, I'm sorry. I've been married, and I know, and I'm happily divorced right now. But challenges that come up in marriage don't just magically appear out of nowhere. They're either brought into the relationship from previous, from your past, but they are made and resolved by the choices that we make within that relationship. Okay, so. But the fact is that Brandon is continuously putting all of this on Kristina. Like, even if the challenges that you came up with have been difficult in nature, they seem like they're too hard for you to handle, that's when you lean into your partner, your wife. And with a combined effort, y'all resolve and y'all deal with that. But you don't take any responsibility in the part that you played at all. Even to this day, just from listening to your friends talk about how Kristina ain't there for you and ain't supporting you, you still making challenges in your relationship. You creating challenges in your relationship that didn't have to be there. What is the hard part? Convincing everybody that you ain't lying? What is the hard part? Making her submit to your way of thinking? Making her agree? Breaking her down to the point that she says, you're right, I did this, let me kiss your ass. That's the hard part. Okay, this is where I stopped taking notes at, y'all. So I'm trying to remember what the hell happened in the rest of this damn episode. Kristina met up with Chelsea. This whole scene was so staged. The questions that Chelsea was asking, you could tell that production told her to ask. At the doggone wine bar, she said Chelsea was in town, and that's why she brought her friend to the event. Chelsea making it seem like she finna be a reoccurring character, that she want Kristina to design her outfit. I forgot what reason. So she gonna be around for a minute, and Chelsea kept asking her, well, have y'all talked, or what y'all doing? Y'all just ignoring each other? Y'all just gonna pretend it didn't happen? You know what I'm saying? The way that she was phrasing her questions, I'm paraphrasing, the way she was phrasing her questions, it was like she already knew that Brandon hadn't came back home. Because in my mind, I would think, they had an argument, they had a blow up, and he was her. But the way she was phrasing those questions was like she already knew that he hadn't came back home, even though Kristina had never said it. But Kristina's, like, her biggest issue, not necessarily the things that Brandon said about her to belittle her, to diminish her. The fact that he allowed his friends to gang up on her with those lies, and he supported them in turning her down. That's what her biggest issue was. She loves her husband, and she wants to stay married to him. She don't want the marriage to end, but she ain't sure what's going on right now. She ain't sure what he want to do. She said she's always been the fighter for her relationships. She's always fought for her marriage. You know what I'm saying? She always tried to put God first in between it in the relationship to guide her. But if he wants to walk away, she ain't sure if she gonna fight for him. But she ain't gonna tell him to go, and she ain't gonna leave either. Russell and Kolby, they had a little outing. And at first I was thinking, oh, this is kind of sweet. You know, they go on, they have a little date night, you know what I'm saying, have a little thing. They went to this little gym. And I realized that Russell was treating this as like a counseling session for his wife. Some team building. Because at first he said they hadn't really talked. And this was the opportunity to just have fun, let loose, and talk about some things that they hadn't talked about. But then he sat there and told her, after they got done with the activity, this was all about you learning how to trust me. You learning how to trust my decisions. This was an exercise to like a fall back exercise. You know, when you're supposed to just fall into your partner's arms and pray that they're going to catch you. This is what this type of exercise was supposed to be for. And I was like, that ain't what he just told us. This is supposed to be for. It's supposed to be for a time for them to have fun and get loose. He telling her this is an exercise for her to learn something. You know, I felt like I was sitting watching a marriage counseling session, and Kolby was the only one he was counseling. He says that, I forgot, he did say that he was supposed to be a chaplain in the Army, the Army Reserve, the Army Guard or something like that. I think he's a reservist. And he had mentioned he was trying to be a pastor, and Kolby was like, wait a minute, pastor? I'm not trying to be no damn first lady. It's the difference between the chaplains and the pastors. Remember I asked y'all what's the difference between the chaplain and the pastor and the bishop and all that stuff, and ain't nobody answering me down in the comment section. Y'all must be all heathens like me. Anywho, but a chaplain, an army chaplain, they asked me to be an army chaplain, y'all, when I got out the service. I don't know why. I guess I got a gift of gab. But they asked me to be an army chaplain. I didn't do it though, because I was like, Lord, they finna strike me down. Out here living a double life. I know I was out here getting booked. Well, I was in my heyday when I got out the military, baby. Child. Anywho, Kolby was trying to tell him, you know, it wasn't the fact. It wasn't that I disagree with you going to divinity school if this is your calling. It's that the communication wasn't there, and that's what she keep trying to stress on the communication. And then they keep trying to use the same thing her daddy said and her mama said. Well, if the Lord called me to do something, I ain't gonna consult with you. I'm just gonna do it. You can't get in the way of what the Lord want me to do, but you can talk to your fucking wife about what's going on. You can get her opinion. Whether you decide to use her opinion in your decision, that's a whole other thing. But at least inform her, include her in the conversation. That's what being a partner is about. The Bible was written 10 billion years ago. Or so, I don't know how many for real. But it was written a long motherfucking time ago. Times have fucking changed. We have evolved as people. We have evolved in our mindset. We don't do things like we used to do back in the Bible. Okay, so we go on to, who is we going to? Latoya and Anthony. They decided to have a date night. They introduced another couple too. I don't know if we're going to see this couple again. But while they were on this boat again, they brought up the Atlanta thing, and they still acting like it's fresh and new, even though Latoya is still insisting it happened at the height of the pandemic. But they talked about the fact that he wasn't there, he wasn't present, and Anthony feels like this is why he's so passionate about Brandon. Anthony feel like his wife ain't supporting him either. So if any friend of his come out and say my wife ain't supporting me, Anthony's gonna jump on that bandwagon like mine ain't either. Okay, so apparently they had the conversation about Atlanta. She knew he was going. She said it was okay for him to go. What she didn't approve was him buying a house there. What she didn't approve of him staying 8 straight months. Although Anthony said he was coming back and forth. So I don't know which one of them lying. Because like I say, if he was coming back and forth, it damn sure wasn't at the height of the pandemic. Because that's a lie. Okay. But he said he can come back and forth. And that's what he's going to do again. He's going to go there and he's going to come back and forth. She's still saying it's not a good time. You need to be here for your family. Not just for me, but for your kids. I 100% agree with that. He thinks that the film industry opportunity that he has to go down to Atlanta and learn about Disney and Marvel. He could bring that back to his business and apply to his business and make films and movies about Detroit that he wants to do. And so this will be a missed opportunity for him, and he just want his wife to support him in this missed opportunity. And I think that's how we ended. The friends gave some sound advice. I just don't remember what it was. But I think that's how we ended it, with Anthony getting really emotional, and he was crying about the fact that she don't support him. He went out of his way to support her for the opulence. Why? He even invested money in it. When she said this is something that she want to do, he didn't say, no, this ain't the time right now. You know, he got in there and did whatever he was supposed to do for the family. But now when he wanted to chase something to help better his career, she got a problem. And that's what he has a problem with. I think that's it, y'all. That's it. Y'all let me know what y'all thought about this episode. Leave the comments down in the comments section. I hope I didn't forget nothing that was important. If I did, get on down there so we can talk about it. I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.